One of the most important survival skills anyone can learn is how to start a fire. So do you know what you need to start a fire? Are you going to make a hot meal for yourself at night? Are you going to stay warm at your campsite? I will help you pick out the best tinder and kindling for a campfire. Then it is up to you to make the fire. I will not be going over how to start a fire. I will just help you pick out the right tinder and kindling for your fire. So now that you know, let's get on to the information. When building a fire, there are 3 types of material you need to gather: tinder, kindling, and fuel. Fuel consists of larger pieces of wood, and kindling is typically smaller sticks. Kindling is required to get your fuel lit, but tinder starts off the entire process. Tinder is defined as any material that will light from an ember or spark. In order for this to happen, it must either be very fluffy and dry, or it must have some type of accelerant. There are 3 kinds of tinder that you can choose from. Improvised tinder. This is man-made tinder found in nature, and animal-based tinder. We start with improvised tinder. This can be several things. At home, a newspaper is something that is being used a lot. Aside from newspapers, or any other type of paper, the following materials make great man-made tinder: dryer lint, cotton balls, coated in Vaseline if possible, tampon fluff, from all cotton tampons, pieces of rubber tire, inner tube rings from a bicycle, number 0000 steel wool, lint from cotton socks, potato chips, sawdust and melted wax. These can be pre-made and carried with you. Fire starter sticks, magnesium, char cloth, wet fire, a synthetic fire starter, Purell, makes a great fire starter, and trick birthday candles. Now on to tinder found in nature. It's really not an issue if you haven't packed some material from home that you can use as tinder, because as long as the ground outside is dry, there are many materials you can use as tinder. Even if it's wet out, there are still tricks you can use to get something usable. Dried leaves and grass work okay, but they really have to be roughed up to get them fluffy. A great way to find these sources already prepared is to hunt down a bird's nest. As birds build and use a nest over it, and over it creates a perfect tinder bundle for an ember. Here is a list of things you can find in nature to use as tinder: birch bark or small pieces of other tree bark, pine cones, smaller, lighter ones, shaved wood, very tiny twigs, fluff from cattails, dry cattail leaves, dry pine needles, dry grass, dry leaves, tinder fungus, dandelion fluff, seeds, milkweed fluff, fatwood. You can buy this if you're not lucky enough to find it in the wild. Bird down, husk from hornet's nest or beehive, straw and hanging moss. And for the last types of tinder, animal-based tinder. Animals can actually help you out with a few different tinder sources. Dried animal dung can be used just like tinder fungus, and many times it is easy to find in the wild. Another option most people do not discuss are feathers. The fluffy interior feathers on most birds are perfect to ignite when dry. The next time you kill a bird in the wild, save that tinder. If you kill a mammal in the wild, you can use some of the fur to create a tinder bundle. Just trim it off at skin level and create a bird's nest shape to catch a spark. Now on to the last part: kindling. Kindling is larger than tinder, made to get a fire going for the short term by being placed on top of the tinder. The idea behind the use of kindling is that it is small enough to catch fire from the burning tinder and large enough to burn for a long enough time to allow the larger wood, fuel wood, to catch. It is also less likely than larger fuel wood to smother the small flames of the tinder. When it comes to choosing the wood for your kindling, softwood, such as pine, is better than hardwood. Softwood will be easier to split and will burn more easily. In a pinch, you can use cardboard if it's available, or you can roll up newspaper really tight and tie it in a knot. Put the knot near the flames of the tinder and allow it to catch on fire, and it will burn for a while. Large pine cones can also be used. Again, it is critical that your kindling is dry. Nothing defeats the creation of a fire like moisture. If you have wood that is wet, then you can split it and use the dry wood from the interior as kindling. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. And remember, you are never too prepared.